trainer Jimmy Jerkens knows what it's like to run big in the Pegasus World Cup dirt. 2 years ago, Jerkens saddled the leather-tough Shaman Ghost to a second-place finish in the inaugural Pegasus behind horse of the world, Arrogate.
Oh, it was something. It really was. You know, he ran terrific. Got beat by one of the best horses that ever looked through a bridle, so it certainly wasn't any disgrace.
Jerkens has been busy readying Stronach Stable's Delta Prince for the newly minted $7 million Pegasus turf. This son of the late Street Cry recently turned 6, but with just 11 starts under his belt, might own some untapped potential. And even though the Pegasus turf will be the toughest, most daunting test of Delta Prince's career, Jerkens views the horse's lighter 2018 campaign as a potential positive.
You got to have it all. You know, you got to have obviously a lot of quality. You got to be hopefully you haven't been through too much already, because it's relatively soon after the Breeders' Cup, and there's a lot of races leading up to the Breeders' Cup too. Although in this day and age, you know, a lot of the old races that used to be very prestigious have lost their luster because of people saving their horses for the Breeders' Cup. So, but still in all, it's at a time where, you know, a lot of the horses have already been through a tough year, you know, the previous year, and you got to have a horse that's been able to weather it all, and plus be relatively fresh too at the same time.
There is a great source of family pride involved with Delta Prince. The horse was bred by Dina Springs and is owned by Stronach Stables. The Stronach family, of course, purchased Gulfstream Park around the turn of the millennium. And the Pegasus World Cup concept was originally dreamt up by the family's patriarch, Frank Stronach.
You know, I'm sure he would be at the top of his list of things to accomplish, and for us to be able to accomplish it for him would be equally as gratifying. Somebody asked me before the first year, said, don't you feel a little bit intimidated, a little more pressure because it's his horse? And you know, I never felt that way, because he's always been very fair, and he's, you know, even though it's important to him, he never was unrealistic about anything. You know, he's been fantastic to me and fantastic to train for, and nothing ever went because of that. You expected something more, you know, so I was really grateful for that.
When it comes to American racing these days, it seems like green is the new black. Indeed, turf racing has become way more prominent and important than it was even a quarter century ago. Like most things in life, Jerkens said the key is to accept change and adapt.
Well, I guess because there's so much turf racing nowadays, and it was something that evidently was going to happen. You know, I could see it coming. You know, there's so much more influence on turf racing now than even. I mean, when I was coming around with my dad, it was turf racing was secondary, and now it's almost primary. You know, that's how things have changed so much in a short period of time. But, it is what it is, and got to roll with it.
Jerkens, the son of the late legendary H. Allen Jerkens, believes the mile and 3/16 distance will not pose a problem for the royally bred Delta Prince. There is a ton of Grade 1 quality and class on the female side of his pedigree. Plus, Delta Prince's recent training has been perfect and uneventful.
I think as long as he rates kindly enough and gets a decent enough trip, he'll get the distance. You know, I worked him here the other day, and not only that, he's coming off a 7/8 of a mile dirt race, which isn't really how you really want to lead into a mile and 3/16 turf race. But we wanted to give him, Mr. Stronach wanted to give him another crack at the dirt before it was all said and done, and that's why we did that. But and that's why the other day I gave him a nice easy mile around the 2 turns, just to make sure he wasn't going to be, you know, he didn't turn the other way and get a little bit on the rank side, because then he rated like a baby and he finished up nice, so I was really happy with it.